What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be breaking down the Valorant weapon tier list for episode 4. Not sure of the current state of the eco weapons, still deciding between the Phantom and the Vandal. Has your hand not come home yet? Well, in this video we're going to be answering all your questions so you know exactly what weapons are the best for this episode. Alright guys, in the C tier, in no particular order, we got the Bucky, the Stinger and the Odin. While these weapons aren't horrible, the C tier consists of usable weapons, but they aren't amazing at what they do for their price. For the Bucky, the Shorty, it's just not that reliable. Like, the Shorty's a better pick as it's a sidearm and you can use an actual weapon with it. It's not very good at doing its job, and like the Judge is just better overall. And it's expensive. Like, the Shorty is only $150 and it's like much more reliable, and it's a sidearm so you can use another gun. For the Stinger, the Spectre and Ares are just much better options and more reliable. They're just better overall, and it's good in some situations, but just overall the Spectre and the Ares are just much better and more reliable. Alright, and the third weapon in the C tier is the Odin. So the time to kill for the Odin is not high. I mean, it's not a fast time to kill at all. Like, for example, the Phantom and Vandal, they both one tap in the head at like certain ranges, which means like you can kill someone much faster with them over the Odin. And also with the Odin, there's a long pull-out time, meaning like when you use a piece of utility, like for example a Reyna blind, by the time you pull out your Odin, it will like take a long time basically. And there's better options like the Ares is much cheaper and it's just a better option overall if you just think about it, and it's not effective compared to the cost. Alright guys, so now we're moving on to the B tier. So for our first three, we've got the Frenzy, the Shorty, and the Ares. These are going to be weapons that are only good when you meet the proper conditions. When you are in said proper conditions, they have the highest potential impact for the least amount of cost. For example, a Shorty can completely eliminate a team by pushing them or sitting in an unexpected angle, and if they don't properly check you, you can easily get a lot of kills. The same thing applies for Frenzy and Ares. They can be good in some situations. For example, with a Frenzy, you can get some really good kills on eco rounds, and for Ares, you can run and gun people and wallbang them with server util. Alright, so for our other weapon in the B tier, we've got the Bulldog. There's much better options. It's not that good. Like Phantom and Vandal are much better, and it's just not good for the price. Alright guys, for the A tier, in the bottom three, we've got the Ghost. The Ghost is like really good on eco. It does 105 to the head. It has high damage, high headshot damage as well. It has high accuracy, and it has a really high skill potential. So that means if you have really good aim, the Ghost could be really good on ecos. Right. So in our next weapon, we got the Guardian. It's very cheap, so that means like if you only had enough money to buy a Vandal and light shields, instead you could buy a Guardian full shields and all your utility, and it's just as good as a Phantom or Vandal. It just shoots a bit slower, still one taps, does a bit more to the damage but shoots slower. That's like the only difference. Alright, and for our third weapon on the A tier, we've got the Judge. It's really good on defense, like just sitting in a corner, not making them clear you, like with the Shorty. Yeah, you can get like multiple picks with that, but it's only good in some scenarios. But it's really good with agents like Jet, because you can dash into people, updraft, and like get a few easy kills. Alright, so for our top three in the A tier, we've got the Sheriff, Spectre, and Marshal. The Spectre is a really good gun for its price. It can one tap people like most of the time. Sometimes it only does 145, but that still does a lot of damage. It's very cheap, only 800, and it is a sidearm, meaning you can use it with a certain range weapon such as a sniper or shotgun. So for example, you could run a Spectre and a Judge. So that means when people are close to you, you could use the Judge, and when people are far, you could use the Sheriff, which is like good because it's a sidearm, so you can use it with many different weapons. Alright, with our next spot, we've got the Spectre. You can run and gun with it. It has a high damage per second if you hit your shots. But like the only negative I would give it is it's not very good at long range. Like the accuracy at long range is just not good, and it's just doesn't do much damage. There's much better options like the Vandal, Phantom, etc. Alright, for our 6th A tier weapon, we've got the Marshal. The Marshal one taps to the head, does 101 to the damage, does like a lot of damage. It's very cheap, it's only like 950 I believe. It has a good ADS scope compared to like Vandal and stuff. It shoots fairly quickly it shoots very quickly for a sniper rifle. And it's just overall a good weapon if you are playing Jet or Chamber or one of those oppers. And if you have a good sniper aim. Now last up we've got to talk about the S tier. These are the most utilized, the most powerful, and the most meta weapons, and most of these you know, and let's list them out. So for the S tier we've got the Phantom, the Vandal, the Operator, and the Classic. So first up we've got the Classic Pistol. You can't get much better than free, so it kinda gets a free pass up to the S tier, unless it was completely unusable, which it is not. This gun is insane in the right situation, and the right clicks can be really reliable when finishing off low enemies or just any enemies in general. When your enemies are low, the Classic Pistol could be better than just any other weapon that you have, as you can right click them and the accuracy on it is very well, and you can finish them off while jumping and being mobile, which is a very good trait to a gun. Next up, we got the Operator. The Operator is an amazing weapon that can give you a ton of kills. Doing things like jiggle peeking or jump peeking or baiting an op shop are much harder to use than just shooting someone in the body from a range, but are very useful and can help you get a lot of picks. The Operator is a weapon which you should put a lot of time and effort into using and abusing, and it's going to get you a lot of free round wins if you master the Operator. Specifically for Chamber and Jet, similar to the Marshal, this gun is going to be broken. You will get so many potential peeks, you won't get punished for missing, and you can even get a kill and get out safely without getting traded. Now the last thing we're going to talk about is the Phantom versus the Vandal. Now both of these weapons thrive in different ways. The Vandal has crisp one taps, and the Phantom is good at killing close up targets, and is also very easy to control. The Vandal is a weapon that is going to thrive at peeking at a distance and is going to be a better weapon at punishing things like Operator with a guaranteed kill with the headshot. The Phantom is going to be a much more flexible weapon as it has a silencer, a bigger mag, and is just easier to control. And it really brings the previous talked about things because the Phantom is going to be a more consistent weapon with a slightly less power level. However, the Vandal is going to be a slightly less consistent weapon with a much higher power level. So the choice is up to you. If you have really crispy aim and you can hit those one taps, I recommend using the Vandal, especially if you like peeking like long angles and if you're confident with your aim. But if you just want to punish like people that are making mistakes and you can hit your shots pretty well, but like you can't hit those one taps all the time, I recommend using the Phantom. You should try it both and see which one you like the most. So understanding the differences and utilizing the proper weapons in whatever situation it is going to be the best way to find out the weapon to choose, not just from the Phantom or Vandal, but just from every single weapon. Let me know down below if you agree or disagree with my list. Have a good day and peace out.